you guys are going to have to walk me through this one. So, Millarworld and Netflix?
Yep.
What is
Yep.
happening? Walk me through this.
Well, you'll get Reborn. I think they've actually confirmed Reborn. Your Nemesis. You won't get Kick-Ass. It's
No.
boxed. Right, so
Chrononauts?
you'll get
No Secret
Chrononauts,
Service.
yeah.
Yes.
Kingsman you won't get because obviously that's got a movie franchise at the minute. But yeah, pretty much any Mark Millar or Miller, however you pronounce his fucking name. Stuff will be on
Millar
Netflix.
sounds so fancy though. Like
It
you say
does.
Mark Millar.
But isn't he Scottish?
Probably, but I mean,
That's
either
kind of
way,
like, you
it's...
can't be that fancy if you're Scottish.
Bro. Just more Netflix series, right?
So,
Comic book
here's the
world
thing.
type stuff.
I only know his work from Marvel and like the DC, like the big stuff he's done, right? I don't know any of his independent stuff. If I've read it, I didn't know it was him. So, what is this going to be like a shared universe they're developing? Is it just his work? Like what is
It's
what is
just
their
a
pitch?
collection of his work. I don't think they all take place in the same world. If they do, I'm not 100%, but it's just a collection of it.
Technically, Netflix could make it, but I mean, I don't know if they'd want it. I mean, maybe they'd want to get into the shared universe world, but I feel like they could just make adaptations and good shows or slash movies out of them.
And all his work is actually probably better suited to a TV show anyway.
So,
Than an actual.
so the
I
only
quite
two
enjoyed.
things
I
I've
read a few issues of Superior, which was written by him, and that's sort of his Superman type thing.
Ooh,
That's the-
I want.
I'd like to see that adapted. That'd be
Didn't
great.
he do Huck as well? Isn't Huck?
Yeah, that's the one I want. That's the one
Yeah,
I want.
that
That
would
one
be-
and Chrononauts.
So being
yeah,
realistic, like
you
looking
finish-
at what he's written, I'm probably gonna say Superior and Wanted are gonna get full-on series because
back again.
Yeah, I can see what. Yeah.
Wanted seems like a perfect. It's you can do it on the cheaper, and Superior can be their answer to like the superhero thing. So honestly,
Am I
like
the only one who didn't hate the Wanted movie as well from a few years
No,
back?
it's alright. It's
I
alright.
never
I
saw
mean,
it.
it's okay for an original movie. It's not wanted in the slightest.
Oh no, not in any way. But it's still a pretty fun film.
I remember getting the
James
DVD.
McAvoy was great
Had like
in
an
it.
issue of the comic.
Eh.
and it's just like fuck.
It's the movie where you
It
see
had-
James McAvoy smash Chris Pratt over the head with a keyboard, and
Yeah.
the keys on the keyboard spell out "fuck you" as it comes towards the
Well,
camera. It's
it was the movie
it's great.
that had the whole hood trying to do the pistol shot, bomb, and it just goes like it had everybody wanting like to fake do that. You know what I mean?
people asking, "Is it possible to curve a bullet?"
Oh.
It's like, of course it fucking isn't.
Why?
It doesn't matter
I
what
don't think
you
it's-
do. to
I don't
a
think you
gun
know
that's
that as, like, a
firing, that bullet's
10-year-old.
going straight.
Now, I know when we said this, obviously I've read his Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass is one of my favorite, if not in my top 5 graphic novels of all time. Like I love Kick-Ass. Do you think they could possibly? As I think if they're
Once the
not,
rights revert back, yeah.
if they're
But
not
at the
making
minute,
another
fuck stuff.
movie, that's what
Yeah, not
what the
making
hell else
another
they gonna do
film,
with it?
so-
Like
I didn't
think-
like the second movie that much.
It was
Whatever.
okay.
One was-
Yeah.
The second one kind of fucked up the story, but it was okay. It wasn't great.
Mitch is right. Like once the rights go back, it's similar. Like they sold the movie rights to whoever made the movie. I forgot who. I don't know if it was Sony or something. And then it's like the Marvel stuff. Once if they don't make the movie by a certain time, bam, the rights come back. Netflix can make a TV show / movie out of it. Whatever. Don't know what they want to do. They're starting to do more movies too. So it's like, don't hinge on the fact that everything's gonna be a TV show.
Yeah,
like it's
that's true.
10-episode thing. They
Yeah.
could do movies.
I hope they do in fact, because I don't know if I'm going to sit through another 12-episode TV show from
I mean,
for a while.
I am, but like I just
Outside of the
think that's
ones
the way
I'm
they
looking
wanted to
forward
go.
yeah.
They just want they just want movies too. So
The thing that I got from this, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, I haven't read like half of these ones that they could potentially make because I don't know about any of this other stuff. But the thing that got me excited is, once again, we talked about this in our movie podcast. This is just another expansion of the whole comic book genre. And now we have another guy entering with his own creations, and he's probably going to be more hands-on. And we've seen the quality Netflix can do. And Netflix is now setting out upon literally an entire universe he has at his disposal. And there's probably a chance he's going to make original stuff for them too that other studios might have turned away as a comic. That he's just like, can we turn this into something? So
I mean, everything the guy does is meant to be auctioned off.
True.
Chrononauts didn't even have the first issue come out, and it was already sold off as a movie, I think.
I mean, I know I mentioned Superior already, but that only ran for 7 issues, so it would make more sense just to make a movie.
all his stuff doesn't last that long.
No,
Like you look at Reborn, the recent, that was only a 6-issue mini, so you could probably get 8 episodes out of that, I reckon.
I just don't want to
10.
see them drag a 7-issue comic book into 12 episodes of a TV show.
I mean, is
don't
it
see
really
that working
dragging?
particularly well.
Is that like really dragging something that?
It's like The Hobbit turning the shortest of all the Lord of the Rings lore books into 3 movies in a trilogy. It's kind of unnecessary. I'd rather see it compact and actually just tell a decent story in a good amount of time.
But what if you can't tell 7 issues in 7 episodes?
Well, then you make a movie and you adapt it, and then you leave
So
it
you
open for a sequel.
squash it into an hour and a half.
Well, if you can make sequels, like it's better than making a series and never having the chance.
Well, if you're gonna make sequels, why not just make 10 episodes? Because you'll get there eventually, anyways.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I like.
I just don't want to see it.
I like TV shows.
Same.
You haven't
That's
got to
why.
watch it one go, Tom. You can watch it like as it goes
No,
on.
no, but
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the whole TV show instead of a,
it's not about sitting through it all, though. For me, it's about the quality of the storytelling. If they start dragging it out and just making it longer and longer just to fill the episode quota, it's just like that's doing a disservice to the original.
But that's you
They don't-
thinking that they're gonna drag it out.
They
Like,
don't
what if
necessarily have an episode quota. They do however many episodes they feel they want to do it. Sometimes it's 13, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 3 with or 4 with Castlevania. You know, so it's they don't have an episode quota. They can legit just do whatever. Like they can make it 2 episodes if they wanted. I doubt they'll do something like that, but they'll make something. Whatever. I don't think they have an episode quota similar to the other like actual companies.
How many issues of Kick-Ass were condensed into the first movie?
About how many were there?
It was
I don't know,
what,
but
5 to 7. I want to say it was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
missed
just-
out so much as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
just-
that's the thing that goes with an adaptation. They do have to adapt to the new format.
You get bet like it's a given like go lose whatever. I forget what the freaking thing
give
is.
and take.
Yes.
Yeah.
But movies,
Exactly,
higher budget, shorter time. TV, longer time, shorter budget. You know, the longer form storytelling is better for some things. The shorter form storytelling with a bigger budget is better for others. It's just going to be up to Netflix's kind of instincts on choosing creators and whether they want to take it to TV or movies. Sometimes I'm sure they'll get it wrong, but I'm sure the times they get it right, it'll be amazing.
And
you know, so
I have all
nothing we can really do about it.
Look, I have all the belief that Netflix is going to kind of put a lot of time and effort into this because it's not going somewhere else again. It's it's there. It's like Marvel Studios still owns, like Daredevil, right? It's not Netflix's property. Now that they're getting in on this is literally something that they're building from the ground up as their property now that he's tied in, that he developed. Like, I think they are going to find the best way to handle it without sacrificing, quality or anything. So
I'm just gonna put it out there, like, cause Disney bought Marvel, Warner Brothers bought DC, Netflix bought Millarworld. I'm just putting it out there. Valiant. I like some of Amazon's TV series.
Sony.
No, but that's some of the movies. Some of the movies are with them. They haven't been bought by Sony.
I
That
thought
isn't-
Sony, I thought
I
Sony
know
got all
that
the
New Line
characters.
Cinema.
No,
are
just
Marvel
like-
stuff.
They're just like
still
making a
own
couple
Marvel?
movies. Like Batista's gonna be the Eternal Warrior, which is dope. But I'm just saying, because Dark Horse I don't really know. Valiant I really know a lot of, and I just love their world. And Amazon made what's it called? The something that won an Oscar, won like Ben Affleck's brother an Oscar. One of the Manchester by the Sea. That one, it's a really great movie, won an Oscar, and then you have other TV series. I'm just saying, like, if Netflix is getting in it, I'm sure Amazon, Hulu are gonna get
I'm
into
honestly
it too,
surprised
right?
no one's jumped on Image. Like, dude, that is the
Here's
biggest
the
gold
thing.
mine.
With Image, a lot of the stuff and the biggest names would be impossible for a TV budget. There is no way you can do Saga on a TV or a movie budget because Brian K. Vaughan's entire purpose of writing that book was to make something that's unadaptable. So he's not going to sell that off to even let people attempt to do that. And
Image just kind of like reminds you of like they're the very independent thing where they don't want to be mixed up with all of these big like company studio
you
ties
could
and everything.
maybe, well, I say maybe you could do Invincible. Obviously, you got McFarlane doing Spawn again. There are some, but I think the big ones, like a Saga or an East of West, would be very hard to do
I
on
think,
any format.
yeah.
I'm just wondering when these other ones are gonna get into it. You know, like I said, Hulu, Amazon. What are some other streaming service? Like because Netflix has been wanting to get into for a while, and now they got it. I mean, to be fair, Amazon just bought Whole Foods, so they don't necessarily need to be in like this world right now. But I think they want to go more into, at least from what I see, they want to go more into all that, like the TV movie adaptations. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's gonna be soon. One of these, like Hulu too, could buy one, like another comic studio, make their own thing, like Netflix start making their movies as TV shows. There's a bunch of comic studios out there with lore in the world waiting, but you know, not everybody knows about it.
I know.
So.
When will I ever get my Young Bloods the series? I need it. That's
I just
the
want
goal of
Scott
mine.
Pilgrim TV show.
Oh,
Let's do Scott Pilgrim again.
fuck.
I only brought up Dark Horse so I can get the mask as a mini-series. There we are. I've mentioned
There we
it.
go. Ding ding. We need a little fucking like a bell every time he says the mask every podcast to make sure.
Or
it's,
Superboy.
Or Superboy. Yeah.
See, that was just an excuse to say Superboy.
Oh
Let's
god.
see.
Yeah.